Hey, yo, say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall, and I've got a scoop for you. And we all know there's a lot of podcasts out there, but I encourage you to check out this one. It's called Going In Raw. You heard it here first. Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Lars.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And of course, taped live at the twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Sometimes when I'm reading the intro, I'll look at somebody, what they wrote in chat. Because I can't not just do one thing.
Totally. Same.
And then I'll stray from, hey, did you hear Samoa Joe's in Ring of Honor now?
I was like, get through it, man. There's stuff to be excited about. So, like, full disclosure.
Walk us through the day.
So, full disclosure, like, we knew Supercard of Honor was happening. We knew this is kind of the transition show for the old administration of Ring of Honor and Tony Khan. Now that he bought it, this is going to be like his first kind of introductory to probably his vision of Ring of Honor. It might not be the full thing because, there's obviously things in place for Supercard of Honor before Tony Khan bought the company. But this seemed like, like a middle ground, probably between the two. And, like, the card looked really good, and there were some surprises they had advertised, like Ninja Mac's opponent. Suzuki was on the card. FTR Briscoes. I mean, that's a match a lot of people have been wanting to see for a very long time.
Yeah, as of last week, it was like 4 main matches. It was Lethal Moriarty, the title match, the tag match, which was probably, like, right now, maybe my match of the year. And then there's, like, one other one.
Yeah. But going into the day, it was like, maybe we'll watch it. Maybe we'll watch it by the end of the weekend and cover it on Monday. But I'm sitting here getting set up for SmackDown. I'm like, SmackDown of late's been a kind of full of filler. I'll get it and I'll pop it on over here.
Just pop it on. That's what I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah.
And especially during
Funny
SmackDown.
how we don't talk about this stuff and we just end up doing this.
I know. And I like text you, hey, you want to review Supercard of Honor during the show? He's like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We share a brain.
Yeah, we do.
So I ended up spending more time paying attention to Supercard of Honor, and I was rewarded because it was a really damn good show.
Really good.
And at the end of which, after Jonathan Gresham won, I guess, because he's the unified champion, Ring of Honor champion. He had Jay Lethal come out to confront him. He wants a title shot. I'll get to it. Samoa Joe showed up.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And Tony Khan put the graphic up.
Yep.
Samoa Joe is all elite.
Whoa.
He's going to be on Dynamite this Wednesday.
This
Wednesday's Dynamite is loaded.
Yeah, it's loaded.
Loaded.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's one of those things where big things used to happen on weekly wrestling television.
Yep.
When you and I were in college and we were watching every Monday, big things would always happen. And the thing about WCW, and WWF did this too, but WCW was really big into the cliffhangers.
Yeah.
And it really made it compelling television to watch at the time. And these days, WWE as a company has decided their big story beats are primarily going to happen on monthly pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. They have story beats that happen.
Well, hold on. When they decide to have story beats.
When they have story beats.
Yes.
They happen on monthly pay-per-views. Generally speaking, when a pay-per-view goes down, we can find something to talk about.
Definitely.
Something happens.
Yeah.
Tony Khan, because he's adopted the quarterly pay-per-view philosophy, has ensured that every episode of Dynamite, something happens. It is rare that something doesn't happen. This past week, Tony Storm debuted, and granted, it's a newish company, so and they can do. I don't know. I feel like WWE could do that too.
Oh yeah,
but they still wheel out a lot of stuff. They have the ability to wheel out new things because I think, for one thing, they're new, but creatively they're also very fresh. And WWE is a bit on the stale side. I saw some headline today that Nick Khan said, I think it's more difficult to create stars these days. And I'm like, well, when you're creative is crap, yeah.
Yeah, it is very hard when your creative is pretty much uniformly garbage.
I mean, the go-home segment on SmackDown tonight, which was the SmackDown WrestleMania, was a Happy Corbin, Drew McIntyre sword segment.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I thought the first hour of SmackDown, which actually focused on wrestling, you had the Andre Battle Royal, you had the Intercontinental title match.
Which was good,
which was really good. The first hour was really focusing on wrestling. I was like, okay, cool. They're going to have some matchups now. They'll give us some go-home math.
Yeah.
That'll help us, with our final picks for WrestleMania. And then the last hour was just like they had this sequence where they had a Ronda Rousey interview while training with Shayna Baszler, and they had extended video package hyping up Ronda and Charlotte's match at Mania, and then they had a Charlotte promo after.
Yeah.
And it was too much. You didn't need all that.
And I'm not, here's the thing, I'm not even letting AEW necessarily off the hook. There was some good wrestling on Rampage tonight.
Yeah.
But there was no big story beats. On Rampage, you generally don't get that. You get some good wrestling, some maybe advancement of current stories, but generally speaking, you get big story beats. Dynamite is when they do their big story beats.
Yeah.
And so you've got Joe coming up this Wednesday. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It is fantastic. I will say before we get to the Rampage review, I know we're just throwing a bunch of stuff out there right now. There was a lot to get in tonight as far as the wrestling world, and we only scratched the surface. Apparently, Impact still has their show going on right now as we're recording this, that the Briscoes have to wrestle on. Main event of Rampage, Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs did not disappoint. It was really good. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to rewatch it now with my full attention, because I was kind of going back and forth between that and the main event in Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe showing up. But the main event of Rampage was really, really good.
That being said, what we're going to review tonight primarily is, we're going to talk SmackDown, we're going to talk Rampage, but first up, we are going to talk about Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. Like you said earlier during your intro, this was a show that was one to watch for a variety of reasons, all stemming from the acquisition of Ring of Honor by Tony Khan. What was the show going to look like? Was this going to be sort of a cleaning of the decks, if you will, in terms of the title situation, which we did see a little bit of that tonight. We saw a new television champion, Minoru Suzuki, which was an interesting choice. We saw
a new pure champion
in Wheeler Yuta playing into his story, trying to get into the Clobbering Club.
Yeah.
And then a decisive Ring of Honor world champion was decided with Jonathan Gresham, and then you get Jay Lethal with a big heel turn.
Yeah. Playing into the story they've been working on for a few weeks on Dynamite.
Yeah, it all fit, and there's advertisements for Dynamite on Supercard of Honor.
Yep.
I didn't notice, because there was so much going on, if they had given any indication as to what the next Ring of Honor programming was going to be. I sort of suspect.
I didn't know
they're probably still trying to figure that out, maybe.
Yeah, I would think so.
But yeah, it was a loaded show with big implications for AEW, obviously. And let's just go ahead and get into it. It kicked off with Swerve Strickland versus a guy that you and I both have really grown to like quite a bit over the past 6 months or so since we've been paying attention to him, Alex Zane.
Yeah, he's real good.
And this was a lot of fun. This match was awesome.
I mean, every match on the card was really entertaining. At one point, Zane hits a poison Rana off the apron on Swerve to the floor.
That was nuts.
That was pretty crazy. In the end, though, Swerve ends up hitting a house call, gets a 2, and then hits the JML driver to get the win over Alex Zane. Alex Zane is really, really good.
I would love to see him in the new Ring of Honor. And that's sort of what I'm hoping, because I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember him doing much in Ring of Honor. Like, I know obviously he was in NXT.
Yeah.
And then when he got released, I don't remember him doing any time in Ring of Honor. I could be completely wrong about
when
that.
He was released, but I don't know what he did prior to going to NXT.
And unfortunately he did not bring his Taco Bell gimmick to Ring of Honor this time.
No, but he has.
But the last time we saw him was in that brutal death match.
Yeah, we got glass in his eye and had to have surgery.
Yeah, and his eye still kind of looked a bit wonky tonight.
Yeah.
So if they're going to bring in Alex Zane to Ring of Honor, that's a great move.
Yep.
That's a really great move.
It really is. It really is. After that, we had Ninja Mac versus
one of our favorites.
Man, he's amazing. I saw that clip of his KO win at Bloodsport. Awesome. Hell of a sell by his opponent too. So he had a mystery opponent that was Tully Blanchard's newest client.
Yeah.
And it was Brian Cage, who, of course,
that was awesome.
AEW picked up his option, and it's a great situation for Brian Cage because he can just go in the ring and wrestle, and he's got Tully do his talking. He's got a couple other guys with him in this faction. It really is a good situation for Brian Cage if he's going to be in Ring of Honor with Tully Quan and Toa. It's a good spot for them.
They have a name. It's something Agony, something of Agony. The faction.
Well, I mean, they were calling Tully Blanchard Enterprises tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Khan and Toa Leona, they were billed as Gates of Agony. That might just be their actual tag team name.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they call them what, Tully Blanchard Enterprises?
Yeah.
That's what he said, right? Yeah, the third client in Tully Blanchard Enterprises.
Oh, it is Khan. Sorry, I had it written wrong. It's Khan.
Khan?
Yeah. I had the U before the A.
Oh, you had, what were you saying? Quan?
Quan.
Khan.
But it's Khan. My apologies. Don't get people's name right. So, anyways,
you just got to remember it. Well, now I know.
Now I know.
He's your favorite movie thing.
Villain, yes.
Yeah.
So Brian Cage, immediately, Ninja Mac goes for a Sasuke special. Brian Cage catches him, power bombs on the apron. Ninja Mac didn't get a whole lot of offense in. He got a few kicks in, but Brian Cage, Drill Claw, gets the win, and the rest of Tully Blanchard Enterprises comes out to celebrate.
Wasn't
their
there?
Newest member.
Didn't Ninja Mag? Wasn't he supposed to sign with like a Noah or something like that? This dude just keeps on. He just keeps on running. When is he supposed to start for Noah, man?
Don't know.
Again, I don't know if his Noah contract allows him to do anything in the States. But if Ring of Honor use Ninja Mac more, because I've every time I watch a GCW show, I tune in a little bit closer for the Ninja Mac matches.
He's great, man.
He's amazing.
He's so good.
He is fantastic. He had a Bloodsport match yesterday.
Yeah.
That you guys got to see. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Then we got Lee Moriarty taking on Jay Lethal. I like that Lee Moriarty was showing a bit more, because on AEW he comes. Maybe this is how they tell him to play his character, a bit more reserved. Obviously he's the young guy there. He's learning from Matt Sydal. He came out with this match with a lot more fire, and a lot of personality. I liked seeing that.
Everything I've seen of him outside of AEW, he's like that.
Yeah,
that's how he's presented.
Yeah,
and they had a really wonderful video package to accompany this, and this is exactly the kind of guy that can grow and develop in Ring of Honor and be allowed to do that, and maybe play around with the character stuff. And grow and develop and eventually become Ring of Honor champion before you make the leap to main roster. Because if he just stays there the way it is, it's going to be hard for him to get. Because if the only wins you're getting are on Dark and Elevation, you're not gonna go very far. Like, that's just not. So I think this is perfect, and I'm glad I knew that Lethal was going to win. I'm glad there was a big story beat to accompany it.
Yeah.
Because that last sequence where
good.
Moriarty was just like throw him in every pinning predicament. Oh my God, it was nuts.
It was really good, and Jay Lethal did a good job, and he has done a really good job over the last few weeks of showing the desperation he's feeling now to get some wins.
Yeah.
And so he took a shortcut. He low-blowed Lee Moriarty.
Yeah, he full on, and the agony on his face afterwards, which like slowly started to go into once Sanjay Dutt ran out. He was like, you know what? Screw it. This is what's necessary. He's, he was saying last week, a change. I need a change. A change has to happen. Well, that change is punching people in the dick.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a great moment. And then given that we saw Moriarty there after the main event, I hope he's going to be mixing it up on the higher level of the card.
Exactly.
He should be there.
He totally should be. He should be. So after the low blow, Jay hits Lethal Injection to get the win. So Matt Sydal, who's on crutches, gets in the ring, gets in Jay Lethal's face, because commentary is saying they've been friends forever. Mm-hmm. So Sydal is getting in Lethal's face about, I assume, the low blow.
Yeah.
And so Jay kicks out one of Sydal's crutches. He falls. Mm-hmm. Jay's hitting some ground and pound, and then some refs and Sanjay Dutt come out to break it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break here to get word from our sponsor, Coinbase. So, Steve.
Yes.
I'm sure there are a lot of friendos out there like me who are interested in getting into the world of cryptocurrency who probably have no idea where to start. I know I have absolutely no idea where to start. It all seems so overwhelming.
Oh, man, I understand. I was there once with you, friendo. But then I started using Coinbase, which makes learning to buy and sell cryptocurrency simple. Coinbase's easy-to-use platform has basically turned me from a crypto dullard into the crypto Lanny Poffo, a genius. It was a breeze to start my own portfolio, and Coinbase supports the most popular digital currencies on the market, as well as offering portfolio management and protection, learning resources, and a mobile app, so I can keep tabs of all my crypto in one place.
Millions of people trust Coinbase with their digital assets, so whether you're looking to diversify, get started, or just find a better way to get into crypto markets, get started today with Coinbase.
And for a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at Coinbase.com/going-in. Sign up at Coinbase.com/going-in for $10 in free Bitcoin. This offer is for a limited time only, so be sure to sign up today. That's Coinbase.com/going-in. After that, we had Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Martinez. Of course, I believe it was the scheduling thing that prevented Deonna Purrazzo from being at Ring of Honor, because she is obviously the women's champion right now. So, of course, as Tony Khan likes to do, interim
champion, yes,
between Mercedes and Willow. And this was a wildly fun match. I love that, Mercedes Martinez had some time in Ring of Honor. She's the perfect mountain to climb, if you will, for, younger faces trying to come after that Ring of Honor Women's Championship. I don't know how her and Deonna Purrazzo's eventual match is going to play out. They sort of fill similar roles. Mercedes been around a lot longer than Deonna Purrazzo. But yeah, regardless, I thought this was a good choice to have Mercedes. I'm a big fan of Willow from everything I've seen of her.
Yeah.
That moonsault bit looked a bit rough when she hit that moonsault and just landed square on Mercedes.
Yeah.
For a second, until Mercedes started doing more stuff, I was kind of worried there.
Yeah.
But she got it together, and she got the win here, tapping out Willow Nightingale with the Dragon Sleeper.
The Dragon Sleeper. Then we had match of the night, and maybe even match of the year. It's kind of early in the year yet, but who knows? It was really good. FTR versus the Briscoes, a match a lot of people have been waiting for, and it delivered. I'm not going to go through the beat by beat here, but there was a lot. There's that great bit where FTR catapults Mark Briscoe into the table sitting ringside.
Yeah.
Busted him open. This match was physical. It was fast.
Dude, this is honestly I got to think about what are some of the other match of the year contenders we have right now off the top of your head. By the way, Whiskey and Waffles is joining.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, old friend?
Yeah.
Good to see you here.
You got Okada and Ospreay from Wrestle Kingdom. That was excellent.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like this one better.
Revolution.
I like Zack Sabre Jr. Ospreay. That's that was up there too for me.
Yeah.
Even with the weird finish.
There's probably something off Revolution I'm not thinking of.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
That could be.
That was probably a loaded fucking card.
Yeah, it was. But this match was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We could go on and on about all the moves they did. Just go watch it. Go watch it. There's this great bit where Mark Briscoe hits the suplex out of the ring to the floor on Dax Wilder. Sorry, Dax Harwood. Gosh, I called him Wilder. That's his name in WB. That's actually Dash Wilder is the other guy. And so, because he was Scott Dawson.
We were watching a lot of stuff tonight.
We were. And so they actually had the trainers come out to check on him. They really sold that moment. Like, Dax, I'm sure it sucked. I'm sure it hurt.
Yeah, right.
But he was really selling it. And Cash had to help him in the ring, help him stand up when they got back in. Just in terms of the psychology and the story of the match, it was great. Ultimately, at the end, Briscoes hit a shatter machine on FTR. Dax kicks out. They're looking for a doomsday device type move. Cash helps Dax break that up. FTR hits shatter machine to get the win. Afterwards, FTR, they shake hands with the Briscoes. They leave. Young Bucks hit the ring. Super kick party. BTE trigger on Mark. Meltzer driver for Jay. No, FTR comes back out to make the save. Dax grabs a mic, says, "We're thankful we got to perform today. Got to wrestle the greatest tag team of all time." Tells the Young Bucks, "You look like you're dressed to wrestle. How about we do one more match, FTR versus the Young Bucks right now?" Nick's like, "Hey, crowd, you probably really want to see this, right?" Of course, everybody cheers because, of course. And Matt says, "Yes, that's perfect for Wednesday night." Says, "Good to see everyone here. We are the ones that a couple of years ago, we are the ones that were here. Then a couple of years ago started a company that now bought Ring of Honor." So it says FTR versus Young Bucks 2 goes down on Dynamite.
All true. All facts.
No lies.
It's still fucking nuts. It's nuts that that's so true. Yeah, that's crazy, man. After that, we had This bummed me out a little bit, man. They can't give Rhett Titus like a small run at the beginning of Ring of Honor with that, what was it, the TV title?
It's Minoru Suzuki, though, dude.
I know. It's not Suzuki I'm talking about.
Rhett, he was in Ring of Honor for 12 years before he won a title? That's like the first title.
Really long time.
Yeah, I'm just pulling 12 years. It's a long time. No, I understand. Mm-hmm. It's a new administration in charge of Ring of Honor now, Steve. And they're going to do things the way they want to do it, and that means Minoru Suzuki, the greatest combat athlete of all time, being the TV champion.
Not even like a Matt Taven. Well, I guess he's probably maybe signed with Impact.
I think they're probably signed. Yeah, I think.
Well, in kayfabe they are.
Yeah, they might actually even be all signed to Impact.
That's possible, I guess. I don't know. They don't do the Matt Taven is Impact Wrestling cards like AEW does.
They don't do that.
So yeah, I mean, this went about as well as you'd expect for Rhett Titus. Look, man,
he got some of his shit
understand.
in, though. He got some of his shit in. He reversed the Gotch style pile driver release.
I hope he sticks. I hope that him and the other guy, Josh Woods. I hope they're allowed to stick around.
I mean, Josh Woods has wrestled on Dark and Elevation.
That's true. Yeah. He might stick around. Mm-hmm. It's just, you bring these guys in. Hey, we're gonna make a change. So anyways, Minoru Suzuki gets a Gotch pile driver after a sleeper for the win over Rhett Titus, the new Ring of Honor television champion, which is awesome.
It is fantastic.
Great. Somebody here in chat said this was his first U.S. title. Is that true?
Yeah,
Johnny F. Cliche in chat says that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. No, look, it's great. I mean, dude, look, we all know Tony Khan is just doing what we would do if we had a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, you and I sitting around, sons of billionaires, right? We're like, hey, Larson, like, Rhett Titus, understand he's, good guy and everything, but
it's Minoru Suzuki, man.
Who would we want to be our television champion? You just throw out there, of course.
What I'd say is, like, who do you want to be our champion? I would say Minoru Suzuki. You're like, all right, I get that, but we got a story for that already. Can't do that now. All right, who do you want for pure champion? Minoru Suzuki. No, we got a story for that now. TV champion, who do you want? Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, okay. Well,
all right, we can do that.
It's just the TV champion.
We can do
cares?
that.
All right,
who do you want for tag champs? Minoru Suzuki.
Two of them?
Just one.
Do we have Raw? We are billionaires. Do we have a Rawgate technology?
That doesn't exist. Period. Full stop.
I don't know, man. I've been to MIT. They're doing crazy shit.
Yeah, I've been to MIT. You lie. After that, we had Wheeler Yuta versus.
If I'm a billionaire, I've been there.
No, I was talking about Steve here. You haven't been to MIT.
I've never been there before.
Wheeler Yuta versus Josh Woods for the pure title. Great match, physical. At the end, Wheeler gets the fire that he needs to be a part of Blackpool Combat Club. Hits a bunch of 12-6 elbows, just like he did to Bryan Danielson on Dynamite, and then rolls him up in a fancy-looking pinning combination to get the win. He is
advancing AEW stories here at Ring of Honor.
I mean, it's part of the company now, so of course they are.
Josh, come here. I got to talk to you real quick. You're going to have a great match tonight. Wheeler's going over. We're doing this thing over in AEW.
We'll get you some more bookings on Dark and Elevation for sure, though, probably.
Right, exactly.
I actually, all jokes aside, I would not be surprised if Josh Woods stays in Ring of Honor. He's good.
He's really good. I watched, what was it, the last Ring of Honor show that they did?
Final Battle?
When everybody thought it was actually going under. They were like, oh, this is the last Rhett Titus is going to be the last TV champion. Nope.
It's best theme in history of wrestling. Oh, thank you, Maggie, gifting a sub to Whiskey and Waffles. Thank you so much, Maggie.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And then we had our main event, Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito. Hell of a match.
Holy crap.
Hell of a match.
No kidding.
Hell of a match. Gresham kicked out of Bandito's finisher. And the finish of this one saw Gresham hits like a springboard moonsault. And I can't even wrap my head around how he did this pinning combination. Because it was so fast, so fluid, and he moved like 6 different ways.
It's nuts, man.
It was crazy. Yeah. Anyways, he rolled up Bandito to get the win. He's about to drop a promo. Jay Lethal interrupts. Challenges Gresham to a title match, and Gresham pretty much says, after what I saw earlier tonight, no.
Mm-hmm.
So Lethal pie faces him. They start to brawl, so Sanjay Dutt runs down to break it up. Instead, he hits Gresham. So then he and Lethal start beating up Gresham. Lee Moriarty comes out to make the save. He's overwhelmed as well. He eats another lethal injection from Jay. So he picks up the titles, poses, and these flames show up on the Tron. And I was a little bit behind you and Enforcer. Enforcer's losing his shit. I'm like, oh gosh, what's happening?
Yeah.
And he's mouth agape, and I'm like, I want to experience this myself. And you're like,
right.
Hurry up, Larson, get to it. And I did.
Yeah, I know. I was yelling at you because your stream wasn't fast enough.
I can't control space time, Steve. Samoa Joe was there, and he came to the ring, and he gets in Jay's face and starts talking shit. And Jay Lethal looks like he is pooping his pants.
Yeah. Oh,
and then Joe chokes out Sanjay.
Oh, it's great.
And that's when they say Joe will be on Dynamite this Wednesday. Tony Khan puts the graphic up. Samoa Joe is all elite.
Oh, it's great. It's absolutely great. I'm so fucking excited about that. I forgot. Did you mention the great part during the Gresham Bandito match when Bandito fired his brand new manager?
No,
Chavo?
That was great. Yeah, there was a ref bump, and then Chavo was like really aggressive, giving Bandito advice.
Oh, big time. Yeah,
really aggressive about it, like unsolicited advice. And so the ref bump happens. It's not like it's like a full on bump. Like the ref just kind of like a little woozy for a second.
Yeah, right.
And Chavo chucks one of the titles at Gresham. And Bandito's like, what are you doing? Get out of here. He basically tells the ref, kick my manager out.
Yeah.
Which he does.
Yeah, it's exactly what he tells him. Vamonos. Chavo.
It was pretty great.
Yeah, it was pretty good stuff.
Really fun show. Highly recommend checking it out if you have not had the opportunity. And then there was SmackDown.
The
first hour was fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a lot. Oh, wow. Vinnie Mac is out there to get the Undertaker in. Oh, that's a nice little suit he's got on, too.
Does he have the two-tone tie with the knot one color and the...
Yeah.
He always does that these days.
Yeah. The knot area has like a pattern on it, though.
Ah.
They got a bunch of thank you Taker signs that are in the shape of tombstones.
Oh, wow.
The crowd does.
Wow.
So that's cool.
That is cool. We'll just do a quick rundown of SmackDown. There's a couple things we can talk about when we get into the actual recap. First, kick off the show, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Dirty Dogs and Finn were the only ones that got their own entrances.
Correct.
None of them won. I wrote down all the eliminations. Doesn't really matter because Riddick Moss, Madcap Moss, won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which, considering that Baron won it in 2016, Moss is more or less Baron's, for the time being, protege. It makes sense.
I love this for him.
Yeah.
You and I are both Moss fans. It's the same thing as Baron. I really like Baron Corbin. They have given him nothing but dog shit creative since he's been there, except for the bum ass Corbin days. But yeah, and it's squarely not on them. They give everything they have to what they're given.
Yep.
And Moss is a charismatic guy who's a good wrestler. Great athlete. He's got charisma. I like everything about the guy except for what they've given him to do.
Yep.
And I'm not going to put that on him.
No.
He obviously works very hard. And I'm glad for him. I thought when it came down to him and Finn, I was like, oh, okay, this is Finn's going to win it. This is Finn's name on that thing.
Win,
yeah, exactly. And then that didn't happen.
And you were wrong.
And then it was fiction. Anyways, he gets the mic after he wins. Says, yeah, I won this all by myself. This is incredible.
Well, which he kind of didn't, because Corbin kind of helped him stay in the match a couple times.
He did, yeah. And of course, the crowd is booing him. And he says, you know, when I was a kid, I looked up to Andre. He was my hero. He was just like me, beloved by everybody, and everybody's all booing him. He says, I always wanted to follow in Andre's enormous footsteps, and I did. And then he says, he makes a joke about, because they're in Texas, of course. He says, "What's if they had something about
a match like this with people from Texas? What would it be called?
With the highest IQ?
Yeah,
it'd be the Andre the
it'd be a cattle royal.
Cattle royal.
Yeah,
saying cattle are smarter than people, which is a dubious claim. So, anyways, after that. This match was actually a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. That finish was phenomenal.
Ricochet versus Angel Garza versus Humberto Carrillo for the Intercontinental Championship. Goes down kind of how you suspect it would, with Angel and Humberto teaming up against Ricochet to kick off the match. A good long portion of it was just them beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then it all starts to fall apart when Angel tries to go for a pin. And Humberto has to kick him off, and he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, my bad. Come on. He was there. I pinned him. And then Angel tries to steal another pin from Humberto. They start going at it, and Ricochet is able to take advantage. And the finish was absolutely great.
Good. It was so
good. Ricochet goes up top. Garza grabs his ankle because he's got Humberto down there.
Other way. It's Garza's
the other way
then.
then.
Yeah.
Garza grabs his ankle. Ricochet boots him off. Carrillo decks Ricochet. Ricochet fights him off, dumps him onto Garza, and then hits Angel with a 630, and then just sort of seamlessly rolls out of it into Carrillo and hits a recoil. And Carrillo sold this better than anybody I've seen. Basically fantastic. Plants himself, and Ricochet gets the pin on him. It was fantastic.
It was really good. We were kind of worried that Ricochet may have pissed somebody off and thus lost 3 matches in a row. But in the end, this was a good showcase for him. He overcame the odds, beat 2 people. It's a good win for Ricochet.
It was a really silly setup for this match, but it made him look really good, beating a team, basically.
Yeah, it did. After that, we had a Kevin Owens, Stone Cold video package hyping up their main event segment at WrestleMania. Then we had Naomi and Sasha Banks taking on Carmella and Zelina Vega. Naomi pinned Zelina after a split-legged moonsault, so this kind of changes the go-home math. I was kind of thinking that Sasha and Naomi were, I'm not going to say shoo-ins, but I felt pretty good about them winning the tag titles at Mania. After this, I'm not so sure.
I'm leaning towards Carmella and Zelina retaining at this point. Although I guess it could be at this point anybody's. I mean, I wouldn't rule out anybody except probably Shayna and Natalya, but even them.
Yeah.
I don't, because they both did the same thing already. Shayna already did it with Nia Jax, and Natalya already did it with Tamina. Now they're just together.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would go to that well again, especially on the heels of another heel team getting it. Like, you're losing it, you're just putting it on another heel tag team. So I kind of don't see that. And then it's just down to Sasha and Naomi, Rhea and Liv.
Liv and Rhea, yeah.
And then, or just retaining. And I don't know.
I mean, the common variable in a lot of these matches is Zelina taking the loss. She's eating a lot of pins.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the story beat at Mania is going to be she pins whomever.
Or would it be Carmella eats the pin this time because Zelina's tired of her shit?
Yeah.
Because that's also kind of a thing, too.
That's highly likely, yeah. Highly likely. Then we go to Ronda Rousey's training camp. She's doing some sparring with Shayna Baszler. Kayla Braxton steps in, asks her a question. Ronda says, I'm getting some reps here before Mania. Yes, I'm angry at Charlotte, but I can control my anger and expertly direct it. And she tells Charlotte, you can either tap or I'm going to rip your arm off. We get a Charlotte-Ronda video package, and we get a Charlotte promo, and this was not good.
No, I mean, the training camp, at least it took you out of the arena a little bit.
She looked way more comfortable in that venue as opposed to out in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah, that's totally true. But she still has that,
I
don't know, that vibe.
Yeah.
It's just like,
That's who I wrote the Charlotte promo. So it started out, says that video package that we just saw was epic, and the masterpiece that I created causing Ronda immense pain is better than the Oscar-winning film Coda. Says, yes, Ronda, you're angry, but hey, I'm going to destroy you, and you're acting like you have your anger under control, but we all know better, don't we? And then she starts going on. She says, Ronda, you think you're cool, as in can control your anger. You can keep cool. But that's not cool. And she lists off a bunch of other stuff that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it was laborious.
Yeah.
It just went on forever and ever. And
I was kind of grateful, to be honest with you. I was grateful for this. I was grateful for a lot of SmackDown tonight because it just let me watch Supercard.
Yeah.
It was like, God, I'm not going to put myself through watching this shit when I've got, I don't know what it was, probably Rhett Titus versus Suzuki. So yeah, it was pretty bad. Afterwards, we had Moss polishing his Battle Royal trophy, and then a giant sword comes in, and he forgot that Corbin had stolen the sword, and he looks over and sees Corbin, and he's like, "Hey."
Yeah,
that's kind of it.
We got a Brock Roman video package after that. Then we got Rick Boogs introducing Nakamura, but while he's doing that, while Pat's rocking out on the announce table, Austin Theory comes through, sweeps his legs out from under him. So Pat chases Theory up the ramp and backstage towards Vince's office. Of course, Theory runs into Vince's office, closes the door, and at first Pat's like, I can't do anything about it. Turns around, boots it. Vince comes out.
Hey,
You want me to fire you?
you want to get fired? Go do your job.
Cancel your match at WrestleMania. Go do your job.
Go do your job.
So Pat has to go and do his job.
Yeah, good bump that Pat took on that on the announce table too, right there. That's going to be a fun match.
Yeah, it should be.
I think I was kind of surprised that like Pat didn't get one up on Theory tonight.
That's because he's winning at WrestleMania, Steve.
Who, Pat?
Yeah.
Oh, is that how you see that going?
Yeah,
now?
this is how it's going to go down now. So Vince will probably come out with Austin Theory.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, Austin Theory will try to hide behind Vince again.
Oh, shit.
And then Vince will be like, expect the unexpected. He'll step out of the way. I'm sure Finn will get involved too, and Pat's going to win.
Yeah, Finn. Yeah, that's right. Finn can get involved too.
Because he lost to Theory tonight, Finn did.
Yeah.
In that tag match.
Pat's like, I make a lot of money.
Pat's totally winning. So anyway, it was supposed to be
audience.
It was supposed to be Rick Boogs against Jimmy Uso, but then Theory comes back down to ringside. He takes a drink from a fan, throws it at Pat, and then before Pat loses his shit, Cole manages to calm him down. Mm-hmm. So Theory runs up on or walks back up on the stage. Finn lays him out from behind, and that brawl between the two of them spills into the ring. So the ref calls for the bell. We go to commercial, come back. We got 6-man tag team action. Boogs and Nakamura and Balor taking on the Usos and Austin Theory. And as I mentioned, Finn's looking for a coup de grace. Instead, Theory sweeps out his legs, hits an ATL for a win. And then Pat jumps on the apron. He wants a piece of Austin Theory, and Cole calms him down.
We have Blue Undertaker coming out right now.
Oh, wow.
Super blue.
Super blue.
Yeah. So after that, we had... Yeah, this is how we closed out SmackDown.
I wrote the notes for what happened, but you don't have to say any of this.
It was happy talk. And happy talk. It was just them and Moss and Corbin talking shit about Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And then Corbin's last joke here was he says, "Hey, I got a great one," because he asked Moss for a joke, and he says, "No, listen, I got a great one." And he says, "What do Drew's mom and Sword have in common? Drew lost them both," which is horrible. That's
bad.
Such a terrible joke.
That was really bad. So Drew comes out and he beats the heck out of.
Yeah. And then he cuts the table in half with the sword.
Yeah.
In kayfabe, it was gimmicked.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was.
And we had, of course, an AEW Rampage. Again, like you said, lots of good wrestling here. I wouldn't mind checking out that main event as well, just because there was so much other stuff.
It
going
was really
on.
what I saw was really, 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 really good. This opening bout looked really, really good. Young Bucks versus Top Flight, but there was just so much going on. But then my computer had issues, and so I had to restart and miss the finish. But my understanding is the Young Bucks pinned Darius Martin after a BTE trigger. That's what I was told.
Yeah, that's true. After that, there was a Dan Lambert Men of the Year promo, which was interrupted by Sammy, who is outside, like in the parking lot or whatever.
Car pranks.
And he asked, what's that? Yeah, he asked Dan Lambert. He was like, hey, what do you think of car pranks? And then him and Ty totally car pranked Dan Lambert with some sledgehammers, and then he spray painted a shout out to Patrick Sparks. He put B-Man on there, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or B-Mad, I don't know.
B-Mad.
It was either B-Man or B-Mad, one of the two.
One of the two. Then we were supposed to have a Hook interview, but he's instantly interrupted by Danhausen. He says, when I came over here to take over the airwaves of AEW and then curse your favorite wrestlers, and that all worked until last week with Hook. And he tries to curse him again. Instead, Hook just walks out.
Yeah, it didn't work.
No.
Hook's got the algorithm. After that, we had a House of Black versus the Dark Order and Fuego. This was highlighted, so I have to go back and actually watch this because explain the finishing sequence.
Okay, so everybody's taken out except for Fuego and Malachi. Like Brody took out Stu and Uno with a cannonball off the apron. It was great. So Fuego's about to step to Malachi, but then House of Black, Buddy, Brody, they slip in the ring. They surround him. So Stu then pulls Buddy out of the ring. Uno takes out Brody, and Fuego rolls up Malachi. They gets him a 2. Fuego hits a poison Rana. He's looking for a springboard move, and Malachi just absolutely destroys him with a black mass midair. It was great.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch
Great.
That sounds good.
It was, you know how we always pop when Adam Cole hits a super kick?
It's amazing.
When someone does a midair thing. It was that, but with a black mass.
That's
it was
awesome.
Fantastic.
Oh, Undertaker's crying right now.
Oh, wow.
He's got like a gemstones type microphone. It's like a little tiny one that goes out of his mouth. It's like an earpiece one, yeah. And it's like a little Undertaker mini museum with like his four various iterations of his costumes.
Oh wow!
On mannequins out there.
Wow, that's quite some production value.
It is. After that, Drew's wearing a kilt. After that, we had a Young Bucks promo where Nick lists off their accolades. He says, or he lists off a series of accolades and says, "You might think we're talking about FTR, but no, we're talking about us." Matt says, "We've done all those things, but FTR has never beaten the Young Bucks." Part 2 happens next week on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Where totally FTR is going to win that.
Totally. Then we get Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue. This was a fun match. Jamie Hayter gets the win. She hits a suplex, follows a superplex, brainbuster, and a Rainmaker to get the win. Yeah,
man. Hit that Rainmaker. After that, we had a Penta, Oscuro, and Alex promo. Penta says, is House of Black as if House of Black continues to play with Fuego, they're going to get burned. Because Fuego, of course, is fire. In Espanol.
Then we get the Powerhouse Hobbs Keith Lee interview, and Hobbs is upset that Mark Henry is about to ask Keith Lee the first question. And he's like, "Why do I get the first question?" He says, "Keith, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to open up the book of Hobbs." And he says it a lot more eloquently than he really quickly typed it. And I'm going to hit you with the spine buster. I just try to get the important details. But this is a great... Hobbs' promos have been really good the last...
Hobbs is really good.
Month, especially.
You know, I get that there's a... I get that Tony Khan would see him and Starks and be like, oh, Starks can be the mouth. He could be the mouthpiece. And Hobbs could be the strong, giant, silent guy. No, don't do that.
No,
Hobbs can talk just fine.
Yeah.
Him and Starks should develop the chemistry where they both get to talk.
And there's a back and forth between them.
Better. Yeah. And there's a back and forth. Exactly. Like, how shitty would this podcast be if I'm just sitting here talking and you're just doing that? Boring. Nobody wants to hear this guy talk.
I don't know. It might be better. I don't know.
I'd never have my own solo YouTube channel. That would suck. Oh wait, I do have one.
You do, but they're 12-minute
Wrestle
videos.
Juice.
But they're not but they're not podcasts. You should check
next
it out.
week on Wrestle Juice. I'm going to review this Kevin Nash comic book from 1999.
Brilliant. Anyways, this Hobbs promo bit here
Certificate of
really
authenticity. Too.
You know it's real then. It was really great because he says, "I'm going to open the book of Hobbs." He was making like biblical allusions. It was really good. Check it out. I want to watch it again so I can actually appreciate it.
Sure.
And then Lee says, "Hobbs, you definitely are powerful. You are a powerhouse. However, it seems that you've been reading too much of your own autobiography when you should be looking at fiction, specifically science fiction, because I am unreal. He is limitless. Bask in his glory." And that was our main event, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Keith Lee. And they beat the heck out of each other, and it was tons of fun. The finish of this, Ricky Starks run down with a chair. Keith Lee punches it out of his hands. Then Swerve runs out, pulls Starks off the apron, and the ref is distracted by that, trying to break all that up. And Hobbs actually hits Keith Lee with a spine buster, covers him, and he has him pinned for like 10 seconds.
Oof, yeah.
So Hobbs eventually goes and tries to bring the ref back in, and he turns around. Big bang catastrophe from Keith Lee to get the win. Mm-hmm. And the brawl just continues because Starks blasts Swerve with the chair, hits his finisher through the timekeeper table, and then Hobbs hits Lee in the back with the chair. Starks sets up a table in the corner, and then Hobbs spears him through it. So
Undertaker finally started talking just now.
Oh, okay. So Powerhouse Hobbs got his heat back at the end of this match. So
he got the heat back, man. He got the heat back.
I assume pretty soon we're going to get Swerve and Keith Lee against Hobbs and Starks, and that'll be really good.
Undertaker looks like a really cool, like preacher.
Yeah.
Like, well, because of the microphone thing.
Yeah.
Gonna take you behind the curtain and meet the man under the black hats, Mark Calloway. Could have been really easy for me to keep Mark. I'm reading the closed caption. Hidden until the day I die, but I wanted to show each and every one of you the same respect that you've shown me for many years. And then, the Hall of Fame, obviously it's still on as we're recording this, but we can report that's, his suit is awesome. Scott Steiner had an open mic and just told a weird story about cows and the Macho Man.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were on the road, and then they saw some cows, And then Macho Man said that he could get cows to come to him quicker than Scott could get cows to come to him. So Scott goes out there and he says, "Moo."
Maybe that's the most wholesome story he has to tell. Or like, Scott, you got to be on your best behavior. Okay, what do you got?
Yeah.
I got a story about cows.
Got a story about cows.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
You want to answer a couple questions?
Yep. I got a thread here from the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Got some bonus material over there. We got a comic book sticker package. Look, man, if you're into this Kevin Nash comic book, you might also be into the Steven Larson comic book.
Yeah.
I
doubt the Nash comic book would cost like $1 billion to adapt it into a movie. But the Steven Larson comic book.
I'm going to spoil the end of this comic book for you, dude. Look at this.
Is it a jackknife powerbomb?
Nash gets shot like, 1, 2, 6 times, and then he says, "Got me." But look at who the culprit is. If you can see, it's vacant.
Oh, no.
Who is that? It's vacant.
I thought I thought he'd get shot, and he's like, "That's not too sweet."
I don't know if there was ever a number 2.
You know what they should do if was number 2? There should be a panel where he's in a wheelchair, Kevin Nash, and he beats the assailant, and he takes the blanket off, and he's just fine.
And he's just fine. And he jackknife powerbombs.
Yeah, we got to see a jackknife powerbomb.
If there's not a number 2 of this, we need to hit up Kevin Nash and be like, "Hey, can we write number 2 and draw number 2?
That'd be fun.
Sell that.
Nash number 2.
Nash number 2.
Poppy Squeeze sub. Thank you so much.
Thank you. David Matushek says, since Madcap Moss won the Battle Royal, when do you think he'll break away from Corbin and actually shine? It wouldn't shock me if I think they might break up at Mania, dude.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Maggie gets a sub to Bear Winning. Thank you. Super Suit 13 with a sub as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nick Kyle says, is the Cody Rhodes news another trick, along with Seth's tweets of wrestler gifts to throw us off the scent? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've given up trying to figure that one out at this point.
Because
Seth is just joking.
Yeah, he's just trolling us. Because there's 2 people he didn't tweet a gif of that would be potential opponents for him, and that's Gable Steveson, and that is Cody Rhodes.
Okay, yeah.
Like
did
Shane,
he do one of Shane?
He did
one of
yes.
Shane? He did Shane.
He did Shane. He did Marco Stunt. He did Scott Steiner. He did Mustafa Ali. Several others. Angel Uriel with the sub. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Man, he's talking about playing basketball back in the day.
Oh, wow. He's starting his college days, huh?
Yeah, man. I spent the last 10 years consumed with playing basketball. Gregory Fiala, seeing that Brian Cage is back, do you think for his contract year he'll be used on TV regularly?
Yes,
I think he's going to be on. I think it's going to be used regularly on Ring of Honor TV. Yeah, we'll see them. We'll see them on. The other 2 dudes have been on Dark and Elevation. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see that. Maybe that'll be like the dominant faction on Dark Elevation.
Mayor Planet Houston, if Steven Larson were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, who would you want to speak on your behalf and induct you?
Hilton.
Yeah. Hilton.
Not Hilton?
No, Enforcer. Unless Enforcer's inducted with us, which
you wouldn't love Hilton to have to induct us? No? Mm-mm. What if it was you, me, and the Enforcer? Then can we get Hilton to do it?
Or Cal?
I like having Hilton do it. You'd have to get dressed up. Yeah, I would like that, actually. And then you guys can recreate when you almost got into a fight. Blake Whitehouse, is it impossible for WWE to produce a WrestleMania that, in the eyes of Attitude Era fans, would be better than X7? No? They can totally do that. They tried.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on your definition of impossible. Is WWE having good creative impossible? No. They just need to do something they don't actually do, and that's realize that their shit is kind of stale.
Yeah. It is stale. Liquid Blake with the sub says Undertaker's suit is so good.
It is a really nice looking suit. It's got like a purple stripe down the pant legs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's cool. Looks like he's fast, but he moves around really slow. He's got like a bunch of stuff in his pockets too. He's got like keys in there. Fucking probably a money clip. He seems like a dude who carries around just a shit ton of cash.
Could be.
Soak and Rose says, do you ever see AEW having a WrestleMania-like show someday? Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I think that'd be great too if they had a stadium show, a huge stadium.
If Tony Khan, if he's like, oh man, can we sell out 60,000? Yeah, I think we can. We're going to do that, or 80,000 or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think they'll do it. Let's see here. Alex Foster, he says, instead of Cody, John Moxley faces Seth in a Forbidden Door scenario. How would you react?
I'd be pretty darn surprised.
Whoa! Oh my God! Whoa! My stream froze.
my camera froze. What happened when Samoa Joe debuted? I did this, and I look, and I'm like, on Zoom.
Oh man, do you want me to bring that other camera by for tomorrow?
Maybe.
We have 2 days. I'll bring it by. All right.
Thank you.
I'll bring you a donut too.
Oh,
Cameron says, "What kind of donut you like? You like the bear claw? No, apple fritter.
Yeah, or just plain glazed donuts, perfectly fine.
Okay." Cameron says, "Say Cody doesn't show." Love these Cody questions. Power rank these 4 wrestlers you'd like to see face Seth: Mox, Peacemaker, Shane, or an NXT call-up of your choice. Clearly, number 1 is Mox. Just for our business, that's a better move.
Yeah.
Then it would be Peacemaker. Then it would be
NXT call-up of our choice, and then Shane
it'd
would be
Carmelo.
last.
It'd be Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, that'd be really good. And then Shane last.
Shane last.
Between
I don't want
Carmelo and Shane, that'd probably be like everybody else on the roster.
Literally the entire roster.
Yeah.
Gulak, Reggie, everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Let's see here. Here, this is a good question. Sup John says, with Chris Jericho's new gimmick being sports entertainer, what are the differences between that and professional wrestler that a less knowledgeable person would understand? So, I feel like this is kind of an easy, like, if somebody we know was like, not into wrestling.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, yeah, this is Jericho. He's great. He's been around for a long time. He was a favorite of ours. He's doing a gimmick where he's a sports entertainer, not a professional wrestler. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What would your answer be? What does it mean?
I mean, if it's after I've watched 4 hours of wrestling, I'd be like, I don't know, tired.
You're fresh. It's like 11 in the morning.
But here's the thing. Right now, I'm not fresh, Steve.
Oh, so you're just saying you can't. Okay.
I'm
yeah.
After playing basketball in the heat, man, that took a lot out of me today.
That's nothing compared to June. This coming June, I can't wait. 10 o'clock's going to be 109.
I know. Gosh.
Oh, man. I'm going to rock you, dude. You think today was bad? Oh, wait till then.
No, man, I got another month and a half to get so I can at least start shooting 20%. If that's the case, you're done for.
How are you going to shoot 20% when I'm D'ing you up? Doesn't work that way.
I didn't have any problem getting shots off today. They just weren't going in.
Yeah, I know, because I was in your face the entire time.
It didn't bother me much. I made plenty of jumpers in your face, so it didn't bother me that much.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Didn't bother me.
Joe says, I thought Steve retired from basketball. I came out of retirement just for Larson. Because we both need exercise.
Actually, you came out of retirement before I even said, hey, let's play one-on-one. You start going to the courts yourself.
I had a dark match with a 13-year-old. An impromptu dark match, yeah. He came to my practice session and was like, hey, you want to play? And I was like, sure. Balled him up.
Yeah. It's like Bill Murray and Rushmore, huh?
He wasn't very good. Dave said Larson's interest in answering questions, minimal
right now.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'd say, WWE prefers like the entertainment aspect of things and AEW prefers like the in-ring wrestling aspect of things.
But people that aren't that familiar with pro wrestling or sports entertainment might still not understand. Like, you have to get into a little more granular detail, I feel like, than that.
You think so?
A little bit.
I don't know. The person I was portraying is some sort of dullard. He's like, oh, okay, this sounds good.
That was The Undertaker. That's his voice.
This isn't The Undertaker's voice.
Pretty close.
No, it's not.
Pretty close to Mark Calloway voice. Yeah, it is.
Mark Calloway's more like this.
It's not that huge of a difference, Steve.
It's quite a bit different.
It's a little bit higher pitch, but the actual timbre of the voice.
To the
is different.
untrained ear, I could see why you would say that. Yeah. Anyway. All right. You think those new shoes are going to help you?
Yeah, I like them.
Basketball?
I wore them
Yeah.
around the house a little bit. They were good.
Probably not. Do they keep my hand out of your face?
No, but that wasn't a problem anyways.
All right. That's going to do it for the podcast, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.